Hello and welcome back, your lovely faces, to another video here on the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat. The reboot, which has come and gone now, it's made a decent penny at the box office, with it already making its budget back plus more. So for that, a sequel is already a natural given. HBO Max is enjoying the numbers, and so is Warner Brothers. So what we're going to take a look at today is we've got a few stories to look into, which... One is an interview with Joe Taslim, who portrays Sub-Zero, and also the director Simon McQuoid on why they skipped a key opponent from this reboot, plus some other interesting questions. From here on in, there are spoilers regarding the reboot, so you have been warned. So, the first story comes from Digital Spy, where we have the Joe Taslim interview. Mortal Kombat star Joe Taslim has spoken out about his future in the franchise, revealing that he is hopeful that his character Sub-Zero will appear in another Mortal Kombat movie. Joe plays assassin Bi-Han Sub-Zero in Simon McQuoid's new video game adaptation, although the character does meet a fiery end at the hands of Scorpion at the end of this movie. However, as video game fans will know, a character's death doesn't necessarily mean that they're actually gone for good. And within the Mortal Kombat universe, Sub-Zero is resurrected into Noob Saibot. So, Joe was actually speaking to The Hollywood Reporter. Joe revealed that he is hopeful that he'll get the chance to play Sub-Zero again in a future movie project, saying that he would love to take on the next transformation of this character. If the fans want this franchise to continue, then there's a strong chance the next step for Bi-Han is to play Noob Saibot. Fingers crossed, but I hope it happens because I definitely want to play that character. However, a sequel isn't the only road that the franchise could take, and Joe has a solid idea for a prequel movie featuring his character's brother. To be honest, the most interesting path in my opinion is to do a prequel. It would be a story about Bi-Han and his training in the Lin Kuei, when he got abducted by them and his parents were taken. So it would be the process of him and his brother becoming these, and I think that's quite interesting as well. The actor also added that he's keen on the idea of another movie following the video game storyline, which would see Bi-Han's brother take on the mantle of Sub-Zero. I like that idea. If they do a sequel, then we are probably going to see Noob Saibot. If they do a prequel, then we would get to see two future Sub-Zeros in one movie. That would be intriguing. So that's what we have there from Joe Taslim in his little interview with The Hollywood Reporter, which is very interesting because I am down for a prequel and a sequel. Give me them both. But what we're going to look at now is that the director Simon McQuoid did sit down with Collider and he answered a few questions. I will be reading these out, but if you want to see the interview, I have left a link below for you lovely people. Straight off the bat, I was surprised by the first question as well, which was, did you have to fight the MPAA for the R rating? To which Simon said no. There is quite a bit of blood in the movie as well, so I was a nice surprise to hear, because some of the fatalities in this movie, they are gloriously gory. They are so good. The next question he was asked, was there a longer cut than is out in the world? So Simon came back with, they did have balancing issues, to which they had to have a longer and a shorter cut, but he does say that no whole scenes were cut out, and he's hoping in the future maybe there'll be a couple of deleted scenes thrown out on the Blu-ray, which I think is awesome. He was then asked which characters did you have that were cut from the movie for whatever reason. And this is actually quite interesting because I saw this floating around, and I have actually read the Greg Russo original script, which is out there online as well on the movie script websites. And they had Rain in the early draft, which is kind of a bit like, right, okay, Rain. But Simon did say Rain was in the very early draft of the script, to which he didn't move the story along, so he just got rid of him. He wasn't a Raiden or a Kano, which is a very interesting part. Then he was asked which is the strongest character in the movie. Simon did come back with and say, in the movie, his goal was to make Sub-Zero and Scorpion equal in strength. Obviously, Scorpion and Sub-Zero are the crown jewels of this game and the franchise, which everyone just loves them, along with Johnny Cage, obviously. But making Scorpion and Sub-Zero equals, I thought, was actually a very good idea. But then he was also asked as well, does he have a favourite fatality? And this is why it's actually in the movie for Kung Lao, which, again, the fatality for Kung Lao in this film is so good. Kung Lao with his hat. That is why it's in the movie. He plays the games, he loves Kung Lao's hat fatality, so they used it in the movie. And it is so good. But then this last question which she asked about, which is actually another good little thing. Did you ever plan on a post-credit scene? We talked about it, ideas were thrown around, but we didn't want to do what everyone else is doing. And they weren't pushed for one either. That's actually a very interesting answer because obviously this day and age, if you're trying to build a franchise, everyone throws in a post-credit sequence. It doesn't even matter what kind of film it is. You know, Sonic had one, all the Marvel films obviously, but then you've also got like Aquaman and a few other ones where they just thrown them in there just, oh yeah, we're going to go this way now, so this is where we're going. To be honest with you, some films don't need a post-credit sequence because I like to see and be surprised of where the next film's going when they announce it and say, oh, we're going here. Because if you do a post-credit sequence, you're kind of tying in, right, we need to do something specific because we said this in the post-credit sequence of the last film, which is what they did. But what we're going to move on to now, because there's a little bit of a groaning effect at this moment in time with this film, which is actually only one of my pet hates for the film. They left the tournament out of the movie. How do you leave the tournament, which is Mortal Kombat, out of this movie? So, the tournament is both an opportunity and also a constriction in some ways. There's something about the idea of a tournament film. We knew it was a key ingredient into Mortal Kombat, obviously, but it really starts to inform and build your film construct heavily that it was too powerful an ingredient for the story structure. We could go there, potentially. It's part of the Mortal Kombat DNA, so it's worth considering. But I don't really know. The game have sort of moved away from that anyway. It's better expanding than constricting. That's actually a very subpar answer for myself, and a lot of people don't like it because it's like, well, this is Mortal Kombat. Saying, you're not going to have a tournament in a Mortal Kombat movie, that's like saying you're not going to have Spider-Man in a Spider-Man movie. And I just didn't actually like that part because I wanted to see a tournament. We got like 80 minutes into the film and I was like, ooh, they're going to fly through this tournament. What's it going to be? 1 or 2 matches and that's it? Obviously, if you've seen the film, there is no tournament. They just have a few little fights here and there, and it just, oh, that's the end, okay, let's go and get Johnny Cage, The reboot is actually quite a good movie. I do enjoy it. Again, the story is a little lackluster, but this is a franchise that started life as a video game, remember. They got most of the characters right. Focusing the opening on the Clan Wars as well was a very smart idea, as these two characters, Sub-Zero and Scorpion obviously, are among the crown jewels of this franchise, as I've already said. Focusing it on them and saying these two have a personal vendetta that goes back centuries is absolutely fantastic. But along with good fight scenes and gloriously gory fatalities, Mortal Kombat is on the path to a good franchise, if they can keep it going. Let's just hope they don't mess it up like Annihilation did back in '97. If you are new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future updates, and I'll see each and every one of you soon.